We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. These should be familiar words to most anyone who describes themselves as an American. These should be familiar words to most anyone who describes themselves as an American, hyphenated or not, in an America never great, or great again, or not. But does Don Beyer agree with that noble proposition? Certainly he expressed great objection to the pomp and circumstance, dare say spending a sum nearly equal to the amounts that were donated to his last record-breaking victory for re-election, to which he did not contribute himself, to celebrate the day upon which those very words became history. But as one of his devoted and loyal supporters, Arlington Public School Board member Monique O'Grady, says with that television news reporter smile, life is the test, and this is one. Are all men and women created equal? And is that right secured by your elected government officials, derived by your consent? For the simplest example, would you agree? Yes or no? Up or down vote that the rules are the rules. Begin test. Stop. Pencils down. Certainly, Duke Banks and Lois Kuntz from the Arlington Civic Federation would say that the rules are the rules, no matter what. Do you agree? Next question. Would you agree that if you violate the smallest of civil offenses, that you should be held fully accountable and pay any fines that are due, no matter how small the civil infraction, no matter how serious the civil fine imposed? No excuses allowed. Certainly, there is no one who, of record, has ever raised any objection, and certainly Theo Stamos, Commonwealth Attorney for the City of Arlington, agrees that these civil offenses, even if it means violating your own statutory provisions, you should go out and pursue that civil offense, even if it is the Commonwealth Attorney's job or not. Are you ready for the next question? Okay. So, if you agree with everything above, without a doubt, there is no question that if someone committed even something as small as a misdemeanor, you would certainly agree that no man is a king and no man is above the law. Right? Right? Did you ever hear the phrase that we can never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal? And everything the Hungarian freedom fighters did in Hungary was illegal? That it was illegal to aid and comfort a Jew in Hitler's Germany? As someone said, but I am sure that if I had lived in Germany during that time, I would have aided and comforted my Jewish brothers, even though it was illegal. As that same person said, if I lived in a communist country today, where certain principles dear to the Christian faith are suppressed, I believe, deep in my heart, I would openly advocate disobeying those anti-religious laws. Would you agree with that? Or not? Life is a test. Well, perfect. You passed. Do you want some extra credit? Now, if you dare, and are not afraid of a real challenge, let's try this one on for size. Would you ever offer money to anyone to obtain a great position to put on your resume? Be honest. It would be a real career booster. You could say, I am the only one who had the resume. And everyone wants to succeed and get ahead, right? Would it affect your decision if someone happened to inform you that ignorance is not an excuse under the law, even if you had a hard time getting to where you wanted to be, and that under 18 USC 210, you could actually face a fine and up to a year in prison for exactly that offense, trying to get ahead. Don't worry, because apparently not even some of the most brainy, eloquent, and cheerful warriors for progressive causes you may know might have missed that one. A year in prison. Stop. It's not like a high crime and misdemeanor. Or is it? Don't worry about it. Forget about it. You can still recover if you missed that extra credit round question. Are you ready? Set? Are you sure? Okay, here it goes. If you were a public official, okay, think of yourself, put on the hat, and you were offered a thing of value. Let's make it good. Let's say a prize worth close to $100,000. How many zeros is that? Not quite six figures, but close enough. First, okay, question one. Would you, in the hat, would you take that wonderful door prize? Sounds pretty tempting. And second, would you, in turn, because one good turn deserves another, would you agree in reciprocity for that wonderful gift to do someone else a favor in repayment, quid pro quo, by performing some official act? Sounds legit, right? It's like somebody does something for you, and one day, and that day may never come, your godfather is going to call upon you for a service. One hand washes the other, and both hands wash the face. It's a deal you can't refuse, right? No, really. Well, hotshot, does it change your mind if someone were to tell you that ignorance is no excuse for the law, and if you accept a federal job, the Hatch Act demands that you perform the official act of withdrawing, even as the putative frontrunner in a partisan political election. And you and the guy who wanted to do you a great favor may be punishable by fine, up to 3 times the amount of that great salary, and or up to 15 years in federal prison, as well as disqualification from future federal service. In fact, you may never run for office again. And by the way, it's actually a specifically listed impeachable offense. And we've heard a lot about impeachment lately. So, who wants to be the first to demand the impeachment of Donald Beyer? Yeah, nobody's gone to jail yet. And it's been almost 3 years. Major Mike Webb for U.S. Congress. He wouldn't ask you to do anything that he would not do himself. And may the best man win. Honest. This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb. Major Mike Webb for U.S. Congress. Honest.